I'm on a starship to Mars. I don't know where you are. I'm on a starship to Mars. I don't know where you are. Look what you done to me. I'm on the run from your fallacies. Through dark clouds I burn the fuse. The unknown is what I choose. I've left the good, left the bad. This life is better than what I had. When I've lost count of the days, the voices in my head say, am I alone? Am I alone? Alone. All alone. No, no, am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? I've always known this will be my home. Lonely I may seem, but I will find clarity. The constellations lend me a clue. They are the friends I'll never lose. I'm not scared, I'm not sad. They might say I'm going mad. The rules I won't obey. I'm okay living this way. Should I? 35 million miles. This monster's back in the wild. Starship to Mars. I don't know where you are. I'm on a starship to Mars. Yeah, I don't know where you are. Am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? All alone? No, no, am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? I've always known this will be my home. The quiet goes on endlessly, but here I know I'm free to be myself, and I do what I please. The stars are my muse. Supersonic, super bad. I am bulletproof Superman. Look to the sky, night or day. I'm glad I've gone away. I'm on a starship. Starship to Mars. I don't know where you are. I'm on that starship to Mars. I don't know where you are. Am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? All alone? No, no, am I alone? Am I alone? Am I alone? I've always known this will be my home. My next song is a song called Colors. That was Starship to Mars. Our next song is a new release that will be coming out hopefully this year, but this is a brand new song exclusive to this show today. This is Colors. It never rains, smiling faces, nothing's changed. 1:13, I'm trying to keep my cool. No dinero, yo, what we gonna do? Let's take a ride. Will I see you on the other side? Clear blue skies, I close my eyes. Will I see you? I see all the colors in the sky. Yeah, all the colors in the sky. I see colors in the sky. Yeah, colors in the sky. Oh, colors in the sky. Hollywood, fast car, head full of Maryland, black and white stars. Todo lo que tengo es tuyo. Plastic dreams on the beach, that's where I wanna go. Let's take a ride. Will I I see you on the other side? Clear blue skies, I close my eyes. Will I see you? I see all the colors in the sky. All the colors in the sky. I see colors in the sky. Yeah. Colors in the sky. Oh. Colors in the... Tell me what's the meaning of California dreaming? The desert to the mountain. I see all the colors in the sky. Yeah, all the colors in the sky. I see colors in the sky. Yeah, colors in the sky. Oh, colors in the sky. I see colors in the sky. I see colors in the sky. Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to our inclusion event, Discovering Diverse Des Moines. Hello, Des Moines. I am so pleased to welcome each and every one of you all here today to the very first ever inclusion event called Discover Diverse Des Moines. Let's give it an amazing round of applause for the talented artist and musician, Madison Ray, Colors in the Sky. He said, who cares about California dreams? We've got dreams right here and colors in the sky right here in Iowa. Thank you, Madison, and a special thanks to Civic and Music Association for being our music sponsor. Absolutely outstanding. You all know that DSM magazine isn't just known for their commitment to arts and culture, but for their longtime commitment to inclusion. For many years, DSM has published Inclusion Magazine, an award-winning publication focused on diversity in our community. But I think that we can all agree today that with so much, very much needed attention on this crucial topic, it's even more important than ever that we act on our support for diversity and inclusion in our community. Over the last year, you've seen increased coverage of diverse communities in all publications for BPC, along with this inclusion publication. There was a very, very intentional decision made to host an event to showcase diverse Des Moines. So today, we'll take a look inside some of our city's most amazing and diverse cultural offerings, as DSM always does. And we're also going to ask some of our city's movers and shakers for a few hot tips. You'll come away with ideas. I hope you will enjoy them. But more importantly, I hope you'll appreciate their vantage point enough to actually go and explore diverse Des Moines yourself. And you'll definitely, I guarantee you, be taking notes on where you can go next. And there is a big surprise. So we had a meeting yesterday where we were learning about all of our special guests, their picks. And I was inspired because I hadn't been to some of them. And once I started going, I'm like, people have got to discover this. So I'll be giving away 4 $50 gift cards from a few of the places mentioned today to some of you lucky audience members, just to get you started on this path. You may have noticed that there are a bunch of people on this screen with me. I don't want them to just be looking awkwardly, but I want to first introduce them and tell you who they are, and then we'll get to them in a minute. Editor-in-Chief of DSM Magazine, Christine Richelli, wave to us. We also have Marta Codina on the line, Joseph Jones, Dr. Lauren Patrick, Claudia Schabel, Scott Valbert, and China Wong. How y'all doing, guests? Just wave at everybody. Awesome. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Before we start, I want to give some thanks and some housekeeping and give you an idea of how this program is going to work, because we've got a quick hour, folks. You're going to have so much fun, but you're also going to have to go back to work, some of you. So first of all, I want to give a major shout out to BPC President and DSM Publisher, Susanna DeBaca, and the DSM team who worked tirelessly to create and execute Inclusion Magazine and this event, as well as so many of the other events that go along to support our community. Housekeeping. You all are Zoomers at this point in time, but I just want to give you a few details about this event. If for some reason we lose power, because it has happened, just log back on. We'll come back in. If for whatever reason your line drops, it's okay. Just come on back in the room. We'll be right here waiting for you. We encourage you to ask questions and give feedback in the chat, but I want you to start right now by chatting one of your favorite places in Des Moines that embodies diversity. Just put it in the chat right now. And if you're so moved to do so, why don't you go ahead and post that on social media and use the hashtag #DiscoverDiverseDSM. So this is how this program is going to work today. The program is going to be fun. I'm guaranteeing you that. And what we did was you were sent a virtual program that you can use and follow along. We'll also put that virtual program in the chat for you to see. But you'll hear from Des Moines leaders. They'll tell us about a place, or maybe more than one, because you know a lot of Des Moines leaders are overachievers, right? And they're going to showcase their organization or their place that represents the best of diversity in Des Moines that they want you to discover. We'll learn about their recommendations, we'll ask them a few questions, and then we'll go on to the next. Between some guests, you'll also get an opportunity to learn about a few local nonprofits that enrich our community's diversity through service, and we'll get to hear some of their picks as well. But before we get started, let me make sure that I give shout outs to our sponsors, because without them, we would not be here in this space. As always, we are so grateful to them. We have several presenting sponsors: Viridian Credit Union, Terrell International, and Wells Fargo. We have some supporting sponsors, John Deere and Bankers Trust. And again, many thanks to Civic Music Association for our local musician, Madison Ray. Now we'll hear from our sponsors, and then we'll get to the program. The first sponsor we'd like to bring up is Angela Weekly with Viridian Credit Union. Angela, how you doing?
Great. Thank you for the introduction, Deidre.
Awesome.
What an awesome event.
Hello to everyone.
What an awesome event. Thank you so much for letting us have this opportunity to explore Des Moines in a way that some of us might not have an opportunity to do. Viridian inclusion, we know, is unbelievably important for us to be able to connect with our employees, first of all, so that we can make connections to our members. We have to know the communities that we are in, and learning about some of the places that I have never heard of before and some of the places that I frequent is an awesome opportunity for us to continue to grow. So hopefully we have members and employees that are participating today that get to learn new things about the great area of Des Moines.
Awesome. And we appreciate your continued support and service through Viridian and just your independent service throughout the community. I'm looking at the chat. I see Open Sesame. I see Zoomies. I see Chicken Heat. I see so many Unrivaled Barbecue. Keep putting them in the chat and sharing them, y'all. Next, we have Terrell International, Rowena Crosby, the president of Terrell. Hello, Miss Rowe.
It's a pleasure to be here, Deirdre. We are absolutely thrilled at Terrell to be a presenting sponsor of this event, with much thanks to all of our friends at Business Publications and DSM, and thank you to you for leading this event today. You know, everyone on this call want to support diversity, equity, and inclusion in our community, and many of us wonder, how in the world can we do that effectively? Just by being here today, we thank everyone who is here. You're taking an important step and a role in making this a more diverse and inclusive community. I hope you're taking a whole bunch of notes of the things that are showing up in the chat, as well as the wonderful organizations and businesses that we're going to learn about and celebrate together today. So thanks to all of you for being here. Thanks to the panelists. Thanks for the organizations that we're going to be celebrating together. And thanks especially to all of our guests who have joined us.
Awesome. I see Maria Valente just put in Pyramid Theater. I've got my Gung Fu tea right here. We've got so many. And as I'm talking about tea, we've got my friend Eric Idahan taking a sip. One of our sponsors from Wells Fargo. Eric is the Vice President of Community Development at Wells Fargo. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Deidre. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's so good to see your face.
Well, can Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's a great pleasure for us. Wells Fargo is proud to be one of the sponsors of today's event. And I want to personally recognize Des Moines Magazine for their leadership role in promoting and educating and celebrating diversity, arts, and culture in our community. I happen to be one of those that were featured in your magazine. I know it is great. Wells Fargo has a critical role that we play in advancing the principles of diversity in our community. We have our team members. Where we live and work is where we contribute to. And one of the ways we do that is to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's not restricted to our company and employees alone, but also to the community. We've done some great work in advancing that and investing in the community. One of the initiatives we just put out there is the 50 million investment in the African American community for the next few years. We've also done some great things in 2020. We put about 350 million at that time for part of our payment protection money. Well, while we are making this progress, we know it's going to take a long-term commitment to achieve and endure this result. So there's still more work to do. On a personal note, I would like to lift up the LGBTQ community, the Asian community, as well as the other communities that have been experiencing challenges created by injustice. I want you to all know that there is hope. We look forward to continuing to make Des Moines an inclusive place. And thank you for having us. We're very, very grateful. And it's a pleasure to be part of today's event. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Eric. And thank you for uplifting all of the strong communities that exist in our community. Many of you all know that this month is AAPI month, Asian American and Pacific Islander month. And so we're going above and beyond to just uplift that community as much as we possibly can every single day, but more so in this month because it's fun to do so. I saw someone put in the chat, Lifestyle Juices. Guess what shirt I'm wearing today, y'all? Lifestyle Juices. That's a good one. All right, so thank you so much to all of our presenting sponsors. I also want to thank all of our Inclusion Magazine sponsors. This is an amazing, robust list of individuals. You can check out our magazine to look at them a little bit more closer, and we'll tell you how to do that later. But we appreciate each and every one of the Inclusion Magazine sponsors for being champions of inclusion. I know we're here to talk about the 2021 Inclusion Magazine, but I want us to go back just one step because the 2020 issue of Inclusion Magazine was just recognized as a top publication by the City and Regional Magazine Association, also known as CRMA. It's a prestigious industry association that includes 50 plus magazines across the country, and to be recognized by peers for this publication and especially aligning as closely as it does with BPC company values, it is something to be very, very proud of, not only for BPC, but for us as a community to have such an amazing magazine uplifted throughout the nation. So congratulations on that award for 2020 DSM Inclusion. All right, so the success of inclusion in DSM overall is in large part due to the incredible talent of Editor-in-Chief Christine Richelli, who brings her passion, high standards, and keen eye for the best of Des Moines in all DSM publications and events. Christine, congrats, congrats, congrats again on that CRMA recognition.
Thank you, Deidre. I can always rely on you to just make me feel so good.
Because you're good, you're so good.
Thanks also to my team who are responsible for putting out the magazine, including Dwayne Tinke, Annabelle Weimer, Managing Editor Beth Esslinger, and Content and Digital Editor Luke Manderfeld. So thank you again. Thank you everyone for coming. We're proud of last year's issue, obviously, but I really think this year is even better. And so let me show you a little about what's inside in this short video.
It's beautiful, Christine. Just lovely. Tell us more about what's inside.
I would be happy to, Deidre. I was hoping you would ask. So I can always talk about that. Cover, which you just saw, is a mural called Love Blooms by Jenna Brownlee. It celebrates the city's cultural communities, as do the other murals highlighted in the story inside. The murals all differ in size and styles, but they all share messages of acceptance, justice, and peace. I had a lot of fun driving around checking out all these murals, and and if we're looking to discover diverse Des Moines, that's one thing I suggest you do. Hop in your car and go find them and enjoy them. Beyond the visual arts, our city's cultural diversity is represented in our music scene as well, including Paranderos Latin Combo. In this story, you'll discover why this dynamic band has such a strong fan base and following, and you'll learn all about their ambitious new album. If you haven't seen them perform, it's basically impossible not to get up and dance while you're listening to them. And then a third story I'll highlight very quickly is this one on refugees. Those of you who were at the virtual dinner party last week already heard me talk about this story, but I want to mention it again as it's just that good, and it is one of my favorites. The story focuses on courageous women who, after experiencing unimaginable hardship and tragedy, came here as refugees to build a better life for their families. They're not only brave, but they are so inspiring. And it just is one of those stories that makes me grateful to all of our city's immigrants who add such richness to our community.
Awesome. Well, I just can't wait to get my hands on it. And if there's any indication from people in the chat, they can't wait either. We just appreciate all of the work that you all did on this publication. And I mean, it is incredibly intentional, and there are heart-wrenching stories in this one. So we appreciate you for bringing us joy with this one, Christine.
Thank you.
Awesome. So the moment you all have been waiting for, hot tips on what's going on in Des Moines. Let's discover diverse Des Moines together. On first, we have Marta Codina. I am so excited to introduce Marta today. She is a rock star in the financial services industry who started her career as a teller during high school in Houston, Texas, and is now the region bank president at Wells Fargo. Marta moved to Iowa in 1992, and not only has been a professional powerhouse, but she is an active volunteer in this community and serves on so many nonprofit councils and committees. Marta is a native of Cuba, and she came to the United States as a refugee in the early 1960s with her parents. Her passion is around making a difference, primarily in the areas of early childhood development and diversity and inclusion. Marta, welcome.
Hey friend, how are you? So good to see you.
I'm good. It's so good to see you. So I could ask you a number of questions about your career because you're a powerhouse in that. I could probably ask you a number of questions about fashion. Everybody's looking at your headshot right now and you right now, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about specifically who you want to uplift today. And I understand you like to shop at a place called Give, Gifts with Intention.
I do. Deidre, if I could find a way to get paid for shopping and have that be my 100% job, that would be awesome. And going to Give is as close as I'm going to get to that. It is one of my favorite shops, although we have so many to choose from in the metro, but Gifts with Intention is owned by a woman who became a friend of mine after she opened this shop, and it's just extraordinary. And I love it because it's a female-owned business. Suzanne, who started it as a pop-up in her basement a few years ago.
Wow.
So it's really been fun to watch it grow.
Wow. Talk to us about some of the things that they offer. I mean, I stopped in there because I wanted to take a gander and was entirely overwhelmed and enthused at the same time. But tell us a little bit about what the experience looks like.
Yeah, it's got a lot of the stuff I know you and I like, Deidre. A lot of bling, a lot of fun gifts. So, for me, when I was growing up, gift giving was a big deal in our family. Not big gifts, but just meaningful gifts. And that's what I find when I go to Give. They just have a lot of fun things that, might be fashion jewelry. It might be really fun baby stuff, which I have a little grandbaby now, so it's been fun to shop for him there. They have home decor items. They have some cool tops. So, I mean, again, it's a variety of things like home goods, as well as some fashion and design stuff that I just love. And when I go in there, I'm happy. I'm really happy. And probably the coolest thing, Deidre, and are you aware of what they do? Why they have the name Give?
No, tell us.
Okay, so a percentage, Suzanne is very committed to the community, and a percentage of all their sales goes back to the community. So every month they choose a different nonprofit, influenced again by their customers, and they give a percentage of their sales back every single month. So again, any organization, I mean, it could be, NAMI, I mean, you name it. Every month they choose a different organization to give a percentage of their sales back to. So that's how the name came about Give with Intention.
That is fabulous. So when I was there yesterday, I noticed that May is the month in which they're contributing to Count the Kicks, a group that I'm on the board with. And I just thought it was by happen chance because it was Mother's Day, but they do that every month. That is incredible.
Yep. Every single month they choose a different nonprofit. I've done a few little small friend gatherings there, and we can even pick our own nonprofit, and they'll give the percentage of sales to that nonprofit. So it's pretty cool. It's just a fun place if you need a little curated gift. They've always got great ideas too, and it's just, again, it's my happy place. I can go and just be in there for hours. My credit card doesn't like it, but I love it.
So Marta, just, with all of your experience as an individual and as a professional, just tell the group, how important diversity and inclusion is to you living in the city of Des Moines.
Absolutely. It's what, again, I think back to the opening song, right, about colors. And I just think that our community is just getting richer and richer and richer by telling the stories about diversity. And, DSM and business publications, again, thank you for helping us tell our stories. So I love the story about, refugees, being a refugee. That's really important to me. And we wouldn't be able to share these stories and share in that richness if we didn't have an avenue to do that. So I just think it's coming together and learning from each other. And I love this format. So it's fun instead of just, again, D&I as a business imperative, but it makes us all happier. And I think when we can come together and share stories like this, it's even better.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I've got a special gift card from Give that we're going to give out to someone. I'll share that name here shortly. But Marta, thank you again for everything that you do for our community. And thank you for welcoming this amazing group. Andrea Tyler, you are the winner of this $50 gift card from Give Gifts with Intention. So make sure that you connect with us and privately so that we can get this gift card to you. Thank you again, Marta. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Next, we have Joseph Jones, Executive Director of the Harkin Institute for Public Policy and Citizen Engagement. Hello, Joseph. How you doing?
Hey, Deidre, how are you? I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. I'm so glad that you could be here with us. I want to introduce you to everybody, because if you all don't know Joseph, you should. As the leader of this very, very important global institute, he focuses a great deal on inclusion, especially around our disability community, one of Senator Harkin's passions. He is also on the Winter Heights City Council and serves on numerous boards. He's originally from Louisiana, Southern boy, and has lived in DC. So he brings us a very unique and valuable perspective right here in Des Moines. Joseph, so we could discuss a number of things with you because you're just well cultured. He's also a private chef, just in case you all want that service from him. But we just want to hear about your recommendations today. What are those?
So I couldn't limit it to just one. And so I made two recommendations. One is Kathmandu Restaurant, which you'll see in the photos there. And then the second one is a park, which is Harmony Park and Colby Park. So 2 Windsor Heights locations. And as a city council member, I'd be doing myself a disservice if I didn't talk about some of the great amenities we have right in our own community.
So Joseph, we had a pre-interview and I thought Windsor Heights was just Windsor Heights, but apparently Windsor Heights is known for something else now. What is Windsor Heights known for?
Well, just saying that it's the Heights, right? I mean,
It's
that's
the Heights.
yeah. I mean, everyone knows what you're talking about when you say it's the Heights.
Everyone knows. Yeah, Kathmandu is a very, very special restaurant. And, I like to claim them because they were originally on the southeast side of Des Moines, but it's fine. But needless to say, you can get your lunch and you can go to your second location, which is Colby Park and Harmony Park. Tell us a little bit about that.
So Harmony Park is this really great space. It's an outdoor sculpture collection of instruments right there in Colby Park. It's an engaging piece of interactive art with flawless tuning for long-lasting sound and durability, but it's an inclusive environment. We wanted our city to have something there where we could meet the needs of developmental, emotional, and social needs of children, regardless of their physical ability. And the instruments all border a walking path. And so it's a cement path, so you can walk or roll or stroll right up to the instruments. You don't need any musical talent or previous experience to go and jam out, Deidre. So you and I can go play anytime.
Awesome. And I love the fact that it's accessible and, it's kind of meeting people where they are. Music is that, language that all of us can connect with and we can go and make our own right here. Talk to us a little bit, Joseph, about why you believe inclusion is so critical and important to our community.
Well, we do have a diverse community, no matter what others might think of us, and just by the list of things that people put into the chat and what all the recommendations are. And I think that celebrating that and lifting up those businesses and those community events that really celebrate that diversity is important for us to continue to be diverse and to bring more people in, but also to educate our communities. And the reason I chose Kathmandu is not only is it awesome food, but I love to travel. I love my cultural experiences, and they have great Nepalese food, but they also have good versions of food that I've had when I've been in India and in Pakistan. And the photo that I showed was a group of politicos, my counterparts from India and Pakistan, and journalists who came to cover the Iowa caucuses. And where did I take them to dinner one night? I took them to Kathmandu. And so they could experience that food and meet the entrepreneurs who started the restaurant and have that experience as well. And so I think that we have a lot of great things to showcase, and the more we can do that, the more we can attract great talent and great people to our community.
And I think it's so critical that we uplift culture in our community and celebrate culture, because food is comfort for so many folks, and we want people who come to this city and live in this city to be able to find comfort in what we offer. And now they're going to the Heights to go to Kathmandu. I also want to uplift the fact that Kathmandu is very good about diverse dietary restrictions. They've got vegan dishes, they've got gluten-free dishes, they've got veggie dishes, and for you carnivores out there, they've got plenty of meat too. So I love Kathmandu, and as a result, we've got $50 gift card to Kathmandu that's going to go to Vicky Worse. Vicky, are you here? If you are, please put your info in a private message to us so that we can connect with you and get you your gift card. Joseph, thank you so much for these recommendations.
Well, and Vicky, I can walk there and meet you if you want to help using your gift card. Just let me know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Be serious about that, Vicky. Awesome. So now we're going to mix it up a little bit. I want to introduce you to some nonprofits here in Des Moines that are dedicated to serving our community when they're uplifting diverse communities with their diverse service deliveries. And so we don't want you to worry about catching all of their names, but we definitely want to lift up these organizations and the value that they add. So we've got a little video that they've put together for you all to see.
Welcome to the new Tom and Ruth Harkin Center, home of the Harkin Institute for Public Policy and Citizen Engagement at Drake University. We can't wait until it's safe enough for you to visit in person and see this model of universal design and inclusion for yourself.
Hi, my name is Renee Hardman, CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Iowa, a premier national mentoring organization focusing primarily on the development of young people, affectionately called Littles.
For 50 years, the Oak Ridge organization has been creating opportunities for children to achieve and families to thrive. Through our service-enriched housing model, we are creating opportunities for families to move towards economic independence.
Oh, hey guys, how you doing? Corey Williams, the lead drum instructor of the Ice West Drum and Drum Corps, just polishing up some of our trophies. Hey, we've been together since 1980. We service kids between the ages of 7 and 18 years of age.
One Iowa seeks to improve the lives of LGBTQ Iowans by protecting and advancing equality. We do this through education, improving workplace culture, and gaining access to affirming healthcare providers all across the state.
The African American Leadership Academy seeks to grow and develop African American leaders for our community and beyond.
At Pyramid, our mission is to provide a gateway to the arts for the Des Moines community by illuminating the presence of Black artists in the theater canon and providing a means of artistic expression to emerging Black voices.
Hello, my friends. My name is Billy Weathers, founder of the Be Well Foundation. We've been doing the work in the community for years, and we recently started our nonprofit organization this last year. We aspire to be the difference by creating programs that help families in our community financially and help to teach new habits that inspire generational change and leadership in our youth.
Awesome. So that was just the tip of the iceberg as it relates to talented nonprofit leaders in our amazing community. I also want to give a shout out to Gateway Dance Theater. They sent a video in, but through technical difficulties, we weren't able to connect. But we want to give a shout out to our local icon, Penny Ferguson, who is just known phenomenally for Asian dance and theater from Southeast Asia and a number of other different types of dance as well. We hope you'll check out Gateway Dance Theater. But those, again, are just a handful of our nonprofits that we are uplifting. There are so many more. But I want to go to our next guest, Dr. Lauren Patrick. Dr. Patrick, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad that we were able to pull you away from your chair today.
You guys might hear some buzzing going on in the background, but I'll make sure no drills come your way.
I hope not. I hope not. Let me tell you a little bit more about Dr. Patrick. I'm going to call her Lauren from now on. She said it was okay. But she came to Des Moines to attend Drake University for college, and ever since has called Des Moines her home. She's now a practicing dentist, hence the drills. Lauren finds great joy in her career, her family, and helping moms get food on the table in the midst of chaos through her Instagram page, Cooking Denista. She is also very, very involved in the community. And we asked Lauren to share her food and dining tips with us because she is a fellow food lover, as am I. And I'm very thrilled to hear one of her places. Lauren, tell us a little bit about the place that you stopped at.
So I chose Sea Fresh Market. And if you have never visited this gym, it's on 8th and University, just near Mercy Hospital. And it is an international market that I frequent often. I love that they have amazing produce. And you can see in one of the pictures there's turmeric, dragon fruit is the other thing that's in my palm there. But I particularly love going there and honestly just trying things that I never have, and the ability to do that. I love it because it's accessible. As you can see on the price tag there, I'm not sure what our average grocery store would charge for turmeric, but that's a pretty big container for $2. So not only is it accessible, but it's also accessible financially, which I think is a big piece of exploring new cultures and exploring new recipes, diets, etc. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I also want to just shout out that they have a restaurant inside that they're remodeling currently, which I tend to frequent, especially in the wintertime for their pho, which is one of my favorites.
Awesome. So, one thing that's remarkable about Sea Fresh is their fruits and vegetables and like the freshness of them. And they've got so many, Lauren, so many.
Mm-hmm.
tell us a little bit about just how you kind of have navigated your way through trying different things, because sometimes it's a little bit challenging.
Sure. So,
different things.
a couple of things. I think a lot of us try things at restaurants and then you want to necessarily share it with your family or try to remake the recipes at home. And so I found the staff to be incredibly helpful with just navigating, okay, if I want to make that same pho that you guys make or some version of it, what ingredients do I need? And I find that the people in the butcher area are super helpful, as well as the staff in the front area, to just say, hey, I have no idea what I'm looking for or what this is. Can you help me? And certainly, I think they're just excited that you're there and willing to venture into some kind of exploration. So certainly, I think in any of these scenarios, be open to just asking questions and being a novice.
Awesome. Being vulnerable sometimes it leads to some amazing, powerful journeys, right?
Absolutely.
So let's talk about why you believe inclusion is important for you.
So growing up and not having grown up here in Iowa, I would say the thing that has kept my family here is really the community. I grew up in Chicago. And so a lot of times when people hear, oh, Des Moines specifically, like what could possibly be there? There's so much culture here. And I think having a little person that I'm now raising here and exposing her to the various aspects of communities that Des Moines has to offer is huge. I think most of us want great things for ourselves, but all of us want an amazing experience for our kids and for them to be tolerant, and not only tolerant, but indulge in other communities. And so I think whether it's supporting something as seeming minuscule as a grocery store is a huge piece of everyday inclusion and making sure that we're seeing those things in our day-to-day lives.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate all of what you offer to our community, and we also appreciate what you do just behind that chair with that drill in your hand, because you're helping a lot of folks there too, Lauren. We appreciate you, and thank you for sharing. You all are so active in this chat. Now you're putting in all of the amazing nonprofits that you appreciate: Young Women's Resource Center, Al Exito, Back to School Iowa. I see Refugee Alliance, Pi 515, so many. Grace Fitness, so many incredible nonprofit organizations. Thank you all for being active in the chat and sharing with us. Our next guest is Claudia Schabel. Claudia, how are you doing?
Good, Deirdre. How are you?
It is so good to see you. I'm doing very, very
good
well. Thank you for being our guest.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Well, it's a perfect day to have you on, as you are a phenomenal expert in the realm of diversity and inclusion. Claudia is the president of Schabel Solutions, a firm which she founded to consult on DEI after 25 years of DEI and HR leadership at Fortune 100 and 500 companies. A former commissioner of the City of Des Moines and Human Rights Commission, Claudia has also served for the Iowa Society of Human Resources Management State Council as the Director of Diversity. She is originally from Portugal, worked in Japan, and settled in Des Moines. And she has done so much for our community. Claudia, how many places did you recommend?
I can recommend so many. Well, just a small correction. I'm from Brazil and I do speak Portuguese.
Thank you for that correction.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that correction.
People would call me out if I didn't say anything, Deidre. So
I know they would. So Claudia is from Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, and she speaks Portuguese.
And so the places I was asked to focus on were on gardens and outside. So I was not able to go shopping, maybe next time. But the first place I wanted to highlight is the Des Moines Arts Center. I know our fabulous Scott Valbert is going to focus on the inside of the Arts Center, but I want to focus on the exterior, the grounds of the Arts Center. But let me just say, the Arts Center has really embraced their role as a community organization to celebrate diversity and promote inclusivity. So they bring the world to us in past exhibitions and upcoming exhibitions. So I'm hoping that there are some folks in the audience today that haven't been there lately and will take an opportunity to do so. Now, if you go outside, once you go to the Art Center, there are beautiful sculptures outside. There is this beautiful rose garden. And more interestingly, if you go after work during the week, you will see hammocks of students from Roosevelt High School that are speaking multiple languages and all socializing together. And I think that gives me so much hope every time I go there to see not only how the grounds is being utilized, but how people are just socializing together. It's beautiful, beautiful little park in the back with a pond. I would highly recommend that you make time to check it out.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, you know, we love the arts in Des Moines and we're always uplifting it. And we just thank you for just bringing more light to just the amazing art that exists in our community. Lastly, I just want you to tell us, you know, why diversity and inclusion means a great deal to you, because you've invested a great deal of your life in this work.
Absolutely, Deidre, that it is my life, it is my profession. Without diversity, we're really not maximizing our opportunity as a community, as a city. We're not maximizing the potential in each other. So if Des Moines is great today, imagine when we maximize everyone's contributions and potential. Just imagine. So, and that's where I want everyone to be with their mindsets. We could be so much better if we promote inclusivity and leverage our differences and commonalities.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you for sharing and thank you so much for your commitment to this subject matter and just to our community in general. We appreciate you, Claudia.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. We've got another quick video for you. We've got some nonprofit leaders that have some picks. Let's hear them.
Lucky Lotus is my go-to for carryout. They're located on Ingersoll Avenue. They have the best egg rolls I have ever had in my entire life.
Mainframe Studios never disappoints. Their First Friday events are incredible, and their artists reflect the rich diversity of the Des Moines arts and culture scene.
What I love about Diverse Des Moines is the murals on the north and east side of Des Moines.
One of my favorite diverse places in all of Iowa is the State Historical Building. As an Indigenous woman, I find a sense of grounding in history and culture.
My favorite diverse spaces in Des Moines would be two of our events, Long Shots, which is a 3-on-3 basketball tournament held for inner city youth, and The Move, which is a collective of creatives all over the state of Iowa coming together to sell their art.
In thinking about one of my favorite diverse places, I think of Shelley's Sugar Shack in West Des Moines, owned by my friend Rachel Long, where they specialize in making the best cookies, cakes, and cobblers. Oh my goodness, there's a cookie here.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, on to our next guest, Scott Valverde. How you doing, Scott?
Doing well. It's great to be here.
It's so good to see you. Let me tell you a little bit more about Scott. He has a big job as Vice President of and Senior Marketing at, let me say this role, Vice President of Senior Marketing and Communications Officer at Bankers Trust, and as a member of the bank's management committee. He is very involved in our community. Scott serves as the chair of the board of directors for One Iowa, which is the largest advocacy organization for LGBTQ, our LGBTQ community here in Iowa. He also serves on the marketing committee for Polk County Housing Trust Fund and was a member of the steering committee for the United Way of Central Iowa's 21-day equity challenge, in addition to so many other volunteer roles. Scott, tell me about the intriguing selfies that you took inside of the Des Moines Arts Center.
Well, Deirdre, as Claudia said, the Des Moines Arts Center is just a wonderful space, and it's really been one of my favorite places in Des Moines since I moved here to go to Drake in 1989. It's always been such a great place to escape to and kind of reflect and think. And the Art Center has just really done a really good job in the last few years, I think, especially representing the LGBTQ art community in their work. A couple of years ago, they had a queer abstraction exhibition, which was really remarkable and really helped tell the story of the LGBTQ community through art, especially some of those times of struggle. And to me, it's always amazing that those times of struggle can result in something so beautiful. So I took a few photos of a few of my favorite works there, and just I always enjoy and discover something new when I go to the art center.
So you've got a little theme in your suggestions. You got the art center, and you got a really cool store called Ephemera in East Village. That is actually where I got paper to produce my wedding invitations. Tell us about this store.
Well, Ephemera is a women-owned business in the East Village, and I just think it's really important to support both minority and women-owned businesses in this community. And Ephemera in particular is a place where every time I go there, I feel better when I leave. And I've been trying to support them throughout the pandemic because one of my sort of personal challenges is to send more greeting cards, just handwritten notes to people. You know, we're kind of all in this interesting, challenging experience together. And Ephemera always just has the right message. Their cards are wonderful. They've got great gifts. And Aaron and Karen, who are the owners, are just really wonderful people. And I said, you know, it's really great to have allies like you for the LGBTQ community. And I would say they're actually accomplices, right? They're accomplices in everything that we're trying to do and achieve from a diversity and inclusion standpoint. And just really happy to support them and encourage everybody to support them and try out their products and services. They're just really wonderful people.
Awesome. Well, we are so grateful for your picks. Jeff Fleming, you're going to get a lot of business this summer with all of these shout outs. People are going to come to discover the Art Center if they haven't done so already. Scott, tell us just lastly, you know, how important the richness of diversity and inclusion means to you.
Well, you know, I've actually moved away from and back to Des Moines twice. And the thing that I noticed the last time I moved back was that Des Moines has developed this kind of swagger, right? It's a place where people are really proud to live here. And I think that the diverse nature and the growth and diversity and inclusion in this community has helped us achieve that. And it creates just a really wonderful energy in the community, especially when LGBTQ people can be out and a part of the community. And we're embracing, you know, people who come from different cultural backgrounds. And I think that the city is just becoming much, much more vibrant and a much more wonderful place to live. And so anything that I can do to learn myself about some of these wonderful places that everybody is sharing and promote them, I'm happy to do it. And I think it just really makes it a much more enriching experience to live here.
Well, we appreciate everything that you do personally, but most importantly, we thank you for leading the charge as it relates to engagement in our community at Bankers Trust. And we got a $50 gift card, Scott. Compliments of Ephemera. We are super, super excited to give this to Jeff Bowden. Jeff, if you're on, give us a private message so we can get your information and blame Scott for this one.
You know, Deirdre, Ephemera is over in East Village, and I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't mention just what a wonderful, diverse neighborhood East Village has really become. You know, Ephemera is a woman-owned business. There are a lot of minority-owned businesses there. Two of our iconic gay bars are located in the East Village, and I think, to me, it's one of the best representations of how a neighborhood truly has grown to be very diverse and inclusive. So I think for anybody who hasn't spent time down there, really go and investigate some of the smaller organizations that are located in East Village. To me, it really does represent a really wonderfully diverse neighborhood.
Well, you know, Scott, that is a perfect segue to our final individual, China Wong. Thank you, Scott, for your time. China Wong, how you doing? How you doing, friend?
I'm well. It's wonderful to see you. I talk to you all the time, though. So
yes, it is so good to see you too. If you all haven't met China, she is a powerhouse and tastemaker. She's from Iowa and started her professional career in Chicago in the finance industry. And at that time, a then client of an upscale Chicago salon, China was mesmerized by the innovative environments, the skilled stylists, and just the superb service in the industry. So she ditched finance, y'all. She ditched it and went to Aveda Institute in Chicago and eventually returned to Des Moines, where she opened up the upscale Salon Spa W in 2005. China's client list is extensive and has included people like President Barack Obama, Ariana Huffington, Supermodel M. I mean, just so many names, cheerleaders. I mean, you've done the works. She's incredibly involved in our community. She's a giver. She provides haircuts and grooming services with her team at Central Iowa Shelter and Services, and just is entirely committed to making people feel great inside and out. You're always busy, China, but I'm so glad that you're here to be with us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Deidre.
Awesome. And the reason why this is a perfect segue is because Salons by W is in East Village. But the business that you're uplifting is Busy Bee. Tell us a little bit more about Busy Bee.
Yeah, so Busy Bee Taylor is in Beaverdale. She has been in business for 18 years. Hong, the owner there, female entrepreneur, and she does amazing work. You know, tailoring is an art. It's a skill learned over decades, and you know, she's got the skills. I also think there's been a move in fashion. You guys asked me to talk about fashion and design, and there's been a move in fashion, you know, away maybe from fast fashion, and because of the environmental impacts it can have. And, you know, there's a lot more conversation about reusing, repurposing, and I think that's where tailors come into play. You know, the idea of taking a piece that, you know, you loved 5 years ago and reworking it. And she has great ideas and is extremely skilled and has been doing it for such a long time. So great opportunity to get out there and support her as we're going back to the office as those vaccines continue to roll out, and, you know, might be thinking about wearing something other than sweatpants. I don't know.
So what you're telling me is that one of your tricks, China, is to take a dated piece to Busy Bee and she brings it back to life.
Absolutely. Just, you know, rework it, do something different. A long dress, make it short. You know, it's a way to have, I think, fewer pieces that you really love, really turn them into, you know, works of art and creativity and a way to express yourself. So just a different approach.
Incredible tip. So talk to us. You're from this community. Talk to us about how important Des Moines inclusion is for you.
Yeah, well, I'm going to approach it from a small business standpoint. I think small business is imperative for, and supporting small business is imperative for our immigrants, our first generation Americans. I know it was a big part of my family's story. It was how entrepreneurship is how my dad really got us on our feet. We were really struggling in the beginning, and, you know, over time, you know, my dad, through entrepreneurship, came into a position where he was able to send all 3 of his kids to college. And, you know, that was an opportunity he had. When he was growing up, he honestly had to, you know, leave school at a young age in high school as I think a sophomore, and, you know, go to work because that was what his family needed. So I think supporting small businesses is supporting our diverse community, especially because there's so many artisans and makers and you know, people that come to our country with amazing skills. So finding ways in our community that we can, you know, lift them up and let their skills be a means for business and economic opportunity is really important.
Awesome. Well, China, thank you so much for taking the leap to start a small business and to offer so many of us incredible services, first-class services at your organization. But we also want to thank you for just being supportive of so many business owners. A lot of folks don't see what you do behind the scenes, but you are incredible at uplifting individuals, again, making them feel good on the inside and on the outside. And Busy Bee didn't offer the gift cards. You know, they're old school, they're tailoring. We still want you all to visit them, but we do have a gift card at Salon Spa W, and that is going to Ed Orger. If I'm saying that incorrectly, I apologize. this belongs to you, so you can start your discovery at Salons by W as well. Shannon, thank you so much for spending time with us today. Awesome. So we're rounding up the end, folks. This is how you can subscribe. We've talked so much about DSM and all of the products. If you're not already a subscriber, I invite you to subscribe to our stunning print publications, DSM and IA. When you become a subscriber, you get print magazines, but you also get digital newsletters, plus special publications like Inclusion and invitations to events like this one. And of course, we'd love for you to sign up for our free newsletters, DSM Weekly, Weekend, and Wealth, and our IA statewide newsletter. I urge you to pick up or get your copy of Inclusion Magazine. It's available online if you would like the digital version, or you can order a hard copy by calling 515-288-4582. That's 515-288-4582. As you know, DSM has an ongoing array of fantastic events. We'd like you to invite, or first of all, we'd like to invite you, and then we want you to invite someone else to our mental health series called Lifting the Veil. The session that's coming up is about caring for your parents. At this event, we'll focus on the challenges for those who are in a position where they're having to either transition to caring for their parents and loved ones, or they're already doing it, helping them navigate new health challenges and things along those lines. As a woman who is now helping to take care of my 79-year-old grandmother, this is going to be a treat for me to learn about how we make these transitions, helping them feel comfortable, giving them the dignity that they deserve, but also being helpful. You can register at dsmmagazine.com/lifting the veil. You can see the website right there. I also want to take a moment and thank our participants again. Thank you again to our editor-in-chief, Christine Richelli. Thank you so much for putting work into this. We also like to thank Marta Codina, Joseph Jones, Dr. Lauren Patrick, Claudia Shavel, Scott Valbert, and China Wong. And lastly, in case you didn't capture the places by our guests, here they are right here. Take a screenshot of them. They're also in your document as well, but we are so grateful for our folks giving us just a little bit of a head start on discovering diverse Des Moines with these amazing organizations. We also want to uplift our nonprofits that were able to pop in that video. Again, a shout out to Gateway. We weren't able to see your video, but we're so proud of the work that you do. These are incredible nonprofits that are the tip of the iceberg, existing in our community, adding value. You saw so many others in the chat there, like the Directors Council and so many others. So we're just really proud of the nonprofits because we're all in this together, right? You know, we're all in this together. I want to also thank again Madison Ray for starting us off with just the spirit of joy and inclusivity. And we are so grateful for the Civic Music Association for being that music sponsor. As always, we're grateful for our sponsors, Viridian Credit Union, Tiro International, Wells Fargo, our supporting sponsors, John Deere and Bankers Trust. We appreciate your commitment to this event and others. And lastly, thank you for each and every one of you all who attended. DSM is committed to inclusion, and the goal is to showcase all that makes our city diverse, rich, and vibrant. And because of you all, we're only going to grow stronger because that's where we are in this together. You can't break us apart. It doesn't make sense. But thank you for living out your vision, each and every one of you all. And thanks for that head start on discovering diverse Des Moines. It's 101. Y'all better get back to work.